Hey dudes, and what's up? Today I'm gonna do something different because that's what we always say when we have a new idea. We're gonna try to do something different on my channel today. I would personally consider myself as a cheap person. Most probably the cheapest person I know and most probably the cheapest person you will ever meet. So in this video, I'm gonna share some of the stuff that I do to save some of those bucks because we all want to have more money and we usually just spend it all. Spending money is the easiest thing in the world. You get money and you just buy random stuff that you want. It's super easy, but saving up money is a little bit more difficult. As usual, there's a billions different how to save money videos. But my video is just a little bit different because instead of telling you not to buy anything, just sit at your house and like don't spend money on anything, don't eat anything, don't do anything, that's how you're gonna spend money. I'm gonna show you that you can actually have everything you want, like almost everything you want, like all the things you just usually want to do, but how to save money while getting those things and doing all those things. So I'm gonna start with my most favorite tip in the world that I actually learned on YouTube, and when my girlfriend told me about it, I was like, yeah, we're not gonna do this is too fucking difficult and it's not worth the money. But actually, since we've been doing that, I love that idea. Basically, if you're a proper adult and you buy food and groceries for yourself, the thing you have to do is you have to start planning the shopping in advance. When we moved to Scotland, we used to buy dinner every night after work. We just walked in the store and just bought something. Then we would spend half an hour walking around thinking, what will we eat tonight? Most annoying question in the world. Then we learn from YouTube videos on how to save money and stuff that you can actually plan what you're gonna have for at least next few days, what you're gonna eat in the dinner, what you need for a house, and just buy it in one day. So when you have some extra free time before work, after work, make a list at least of the things you're gonna eat this week. You're gonna decide in between the days, but all the food's gonna be in the fridge, on the table at your house. So whatever you're feeling that night, you have 5 different options. So one day we're gonna have pizza for dinner, one day is gonna be barbecue ribs, burritos one evening, and mashed potatoes and steak for another day. It's already 4 or 5 days of food that we planned out. We make a little list of all the ingredients that we will need for all those foods, and we just buy everything so we have everything settled what we're gonna eat. It's weird, but if you go just once a week, you spend a lot less. It took some time to get used to it, but now it seems like it's just part of our life and it doesn't seem weird or it doesn't seem like we're saving. It's just something we do. And the next tip is quite obvious, but try to include in that list some of the foods that you could take to work to eat, including drinks. I mean, we used to eat at McDonald's because that's the closest place to work. You can still eat in fast foods, that's not a big deal. McDonald's is pretty cheap anyways. But instead of buying that little Coke glass for like $1.50 or something, just bring your own Coke bottle with you. Because really, what's the big difference between drinking the Coke from that paper cup or from a plastic bottle? Actually, the plastic bottle has more in it and you can take it with you after you're done. And sometimes we intentionally make extra food in the dinner so that we could bring it to work next day. I think it's another great tip to save some of that money. And if you saved up some extra little cash, that brings us to the next point. And sometimes you just want to treat yourself and go on some holidays. We go to holidays like 2-3 times a year. You have to try to reduce the cost of actually like transport, like trying to get there, so that you can spend all that money on all those experiences in that different country. When you're flying somewhere, you have to try to find the cheapest flights from the nearest airports around you. When we were flying to Rome in September, we were trying to find the cheapest airplane tickets. So it turned out that from Glasgow, from where we are, the flight tickets were a lot more expensive than from Edinburgh, which is an hour bus ride away. But if you count the fact that we have to take the taxi to our airport, which is like 20 minutes, so it's only 40 minutes difference, but it's a lot cheaper. We booked our flights from Edinburgh, took the bus to Edinburgh airport, and just flew from there, and we saved a lot of money and we spent all that money in fancy foods and restaurants in Italy. For the cheapest flights around you, you can use the webpage called Skyscanner, and to try to find the cheapest hotels around the place that you're gonna fly to, use the booking.com. Both of those are not sponsored. Okay, the next tip is associated to that and we'll move forward to another thing. Basically, Try to find vouchers for everything online, like voucher codes and shit like that. For example, if you're not gonna stay in a hotel, you prefer Airbnb. There's Airbnb voucher codes online as well. 20 pounds off your first booking on Airbnb, or there's voucher codes for Uber. The first time you use Uber, you get 15 pounds off from your first ride. So you could use that voucher code to go to the airport. There's also vouchers when we need to buy new pods for our coffee machine. For example, in UK we use the Living Social, not sponsored again, unfortunately, but we use that page all the time. You just print a voucher and you go to a really fancy dinner but pay 1/3 of the price. There's also vouchers for something that girls might enjoy, and that's free shipping from online shopping. Maybe you have to spend over 30 or 50 pounds to get free shipping, but some voucher codes just give you free shipping if you just Google it. And that's my next tip, which is actually inspired by my girlfriend. You should only buy clothes on sale. Why I do love buying shit on sale is because it helps you choose. When you decide that you're only gonna buy stuff from sale, that's a lot smaller place to choose from, and you're gonna actually find really good deals every once in a while. And also when you want to buy stuff, you can plan when you're gonna buy stuff. For example, Black Friday sales are crazy, and if you don't like all those crazy crowds running into each other trying to get the best deals, Black Friday sales are also online. It's not the only time of the year when there's crazy great promotions. You just have to look out for them, and if you know that you want to buy something, just wait a little bit and find that promotion. But if you find some of those clothing items that you really want in full price, and you're really afraid that they're just gonna sell out your size, the way I think about it is, if they sell out my size when it goes on sale, it wasn't meant to be. I know some people might not agree with my logic, but it helps me. So this tip is super obvious, but don't ever use your credit card for things you don't need. I mean, the first thing, pay off all of your bills, because most of the credit cards, if you just borrow a little bit, there's still percentage. So that means if you borrowed a tenner in 3, 4, 5 days, when you want to pay it back, it's already 15 pounds, and you're like, what? I know that's super popular back in Latvia, but don't ever use those short-term loans when you just send a text message and you get 25 pounds for that sushi night with your friends. Because if you have to borrow some money, even from your own credit card, from the short-term loans that all the crazy sketchy companies offer every once in a while, but if you have to borrow money from anyone just to buy something, you can't afford it, so you don't need it. This is a super quick and super obvious tip, but when you have too much coins in your wallet, shove them all in your piggy bank. The best piggy bank is this one that you can't see through. I know it's Minions, but still. We have a penguin watching over my money, and if I have coins that are less than 1 pound, I throw all of them in this little jar. And because it's not see-through, I don't know how much is it in there, so it's not tempting to borrow from it. And you can use it on rainy days. And here in Scotland, rainy days are every single day. This is a good tip that I actually invented myself. I hope so, but basically, as some of you know, that I have to pay for my study debt. I have 2 banks, so my main bank, that's my income, and I have the other bank that I had to make just to get the loan for my studies. And I have to send part of my salary to the other bank account. Usually it's about 90 pounds from that other bank account that they take off just to pay off part of the debt, like monthly, right? And instead of just sending those 90 pounds to that bank account and slowly paying off that debt, I send 100 pounds every month. That means that after some while, there's gonna be some extra cash in there if I need it, or if I don't need it, I'll just add it to my study debt. So the thing was, I needed a new MacBook, and I also needed a new iPhone, and at some point I needed a new camera, and I bought all of those things on eBay used. Just because you need something new doesn't mean it has to be new. For example, a lot of you probably know that I bought my new iPhone 6 because my old iPhone 5 died. And the thing is, this iPhone was used and it was in a really great condition, but the battery was dead. And the guy sold it to me for 100 pounds because the battery is dead. I bought the battery for 4 pounds, changed it, I have a new iPhone for 104 pounds. That's a super amazing deal. And then my best friend told me that after 3 years, he's still paying off his debt for iPhone 6s that he bought 3 years ago. But I got it used for £100 and I didn't get any debt, and I'm not paying it anymore. So what's the point of buying something completely new? And the best part is that the whole eBay thing works back and forth. Someone sold you all the things that they don't need, that are used, and you got it for a better price. You can do exactly the same thing. You would be really surprised if you would try and see what people are actually buying on eBay. And all the money that I get from eBay, it stays on my PayPal account. I never transfer it to my own bank account, it just stays there. So whenever I see something on eBay I want to buy, I have that extra cash there as well. So that feels like I'm getting a gift card or discounts or something like that. So this tip might seem a little bit controversial to some of you, but I personally never buy music, movies, apps, programs, anything like that for my phones and my computers. I hope I don't go to jail because of this. Do you know how much Adobe Cloud costs for someone like me that doesn't get paid to make YouTube videos? Yeah. And when it comes to buying movies or listening to Spotify Premium, which you have to pay for, and like getting Netflix, try to split your bills with anyone. You could use the same Netflix account with someone and just both pay half. Use the Spotify Premium with someone else that you share with and just pay half of it. I think with Spotify you can't really listen to music at the same time, but if you don't want to live with your parents anymore and you want to live by yourself and you think living by yourself is way too expensive, you can get a roommate or get 2 roommates, 5 roommates. Get a girlfriend, get a boyfriend just to pay that bill. If you really want to order pizza but the big pizza is a lot cheaper, you can invite your friend and split that pizza in half and you'll both get a better deal. Yeah, try to split those bills, Netflix, Spotify, or any other service, maybe internet, or I don't know, there's a lot of examples, but I think you understand the deal. Okay, finally, this is very last tip, and this is super radical and probably none of you are gonna do this, but that's something I did. And if your living situation is really shitty and you want to get extra money, you want to save some money, you can always move somewhere else. If you're too afraid, you can move to a closer city that's cheaper, or a cheaper apartment, or you can do something as crazy as I did and move from Latvia to Scotland. I mean, I know that's a crazy ass tip, but hey, I mean, I did that and my life's a lot better now. Okay, that's it. I don't have any more tips for you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye!